Hey you guys, it's Ari from Let's Get Personal by Ari Squared. It's early as usual, and I am going to clean the mess up today. Honest I am. But in the meanwhile, oh, this thing going backwards again. Sorry you guys. Oh, wrong way. Okay. I'm going to work on a big project this morning, so I'm trying to get it all in the camera, and I'm not really 100% sure how that's going to go. But we're going to ink on canvas, I think this is canvas, on our banner material. And it's a big transfer. It's a lotus. It's a lotus flower. And I've had this a long time. And I've had this giant banner, look, a long time. And I did one lotus flower on a chalkboard, but I did all in one color, so it was easy and fast. But I wanted to see a lotus flower with color, and I'm not totally sure what color it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go back to my old adage that my daughter used to tell me. It's art, Mom. It can be any color you want it to be. Because I'm a realist, so, if it's an elephant, it's got to be gray. Surely, if it's a tree, it should be green. So, given the fact that, one, I really don't know what color a lotus flower is, and two, what inks I have, I picked out some colors, and I actually refrained from going on the internet and looking up lotus flower. So, y'all should be proud of me because, I'm the person who wants to make the sky blue, not, orange. So this is what I decided to do. Okay, so I'm going to make the leaves green. Surprise! I'm going to make the flowers purple or regal. And I'm going to use these three blues for the flower. Maybe. That's my plan. All right, so I'm going to open this up. And it's, to me, I don't know why, but I find it, difficult to work on really big pieces. And again, I don't know why. So, and this piece especially because petals run into other petals, and I'm like, well, where do you stop one color and start another color? So this is going to be an experiment. And, much like some of my other experiments, it might go sideways, and I may end up, I don't know, doing a heart and tying a bow on it and calling it a day. So we'll see. All right. Oh, also, when you use ink, normally, I'm sure you all have heard me say this before, normally, like if I use ink on, I don't know, a banner, what's the likelihood of washing that banner? Like, I don't see myself throwing a banner in the washer and washing it. So I don't heat set them. But with something this big, I am going to heat set it. So this is what you do. You do your transfer and, you let the fabric sit overnight and let that ink dry. And then once the ink is really dry, I put a piece of parchment paper between the ink and my iron. Why do I do that, you ask? Because one time I did do that, and when I turned my iron on and hit the ink got all over the bottom of my iron. So maybe the ink wasn't dry, maybe my iron was too hot, I don't know. But now I just put parchment paper in between my iron and the fabric. So to heat set it, it's really super simple. Just put, the parchment paper down and then iron it. I use my highest setting, and I have I used to quilt, so I have a pretty heavy duty iron, and it gets its high setting is pretty darn high. So I don't know that you have to, go that high, but what I do is I turn it all the way on high. I don't use steam or water, and I just press it, all over. I just keep moving it for, 3 minutes. And then I turn it over, and I do the same thing on the other side. And then you're done. And then when it cools off, it should be able to be washed and dried without a problem. And because this banner is so big, I think maybe it has the potential to get dirty or be moved from place to place. or, you know, be put out and put away again. So I'm going to heat set this one, but y'all won't see that. Okay, so I've used this transfer before, and so there's no, oh, here we go again. There's no need to fuzz it. However, with that said, I don't fuzz transfers if I'm going to use them on a fabric, even if it's the first time I'm using them. Because in my simple mind, this is what I think. You're putting it on fuzz. So really, I don't think you need to fuzz it. And then the next time you use it, you really don't need to fuzz it because technically you already did. So I never fuzz my transfers before I put them on fabric. There you go, you have it. That's just me. So I'm not going to fuzz it. Even if it was the first time I was using it, I still wouldn't fuzz it. Let me, you know, get my computer up to speed here. I forget what it's called. I don't know why I can't think of it. Refresh, there you go. I'm going to refresh my computer and then we'll get going. So sorry. Hope everybody had a good night. It's Monday. Yay. It was a nice relaxing weekend. I had a friend over. She's still here. She sleeps way later. Everybody sleeps later than I do. So, so that's that. Okay. So now here we go. All right. So now I'm going to take this off of here and we're going to get started. What I did was before I started, I took this banner. Oh. There's blue chalk on the back of the transfer. I took the banner, I folded it in half to find the midway point. Because I want this transfer to be, you know, in the center or as close to center as possible. So I'm going to take it off. Oh, and you know what? I hope it sticks. I may have to, I didn't think about this. Yeah. I have to bleach this. I have a brand new one. Let me see if I can bleach this. If this doesn't get sticky, then I will open the new one. But the reason I don't want to open the new one now is because, I don't know, there might not be a need to. Although, I am low on wipes. And I can't get one out. There we go. Okay, so I think I told you all this, but I started a YouTube channel with these. And again, I told you, not 100% sure why. Other than my girlfriend's daughter said I should, so I did. Because that's kind of the way I roll. You know, I'm not a rule breaker. So, with that said, it's called Let's Get Personal by RE2. Like the number 2. And it's basically all these videos. I guess the reason is, you know, when you get down to it, not everybody Facebooks. And I can tell you that when I need to know how to do something, I don't go to Facebook and look something up. I go to YouTube and look it up. So I think she was kind of thinking like, these are instructional. She finds them entertaining. They're intended to be instructional. So I think that that's probably why she had me do that. And, you know, that's what I do. Like if I, you know, like over the weekend we put a new fan. It was my husband who did it. I had nothing to do with it. So my husband put a new fan in the bathroom, in one of our bathrooms, and also a new, like, range top thing with the fan in the light. Range hood, maybe that's called. And the first thing he did when we got home from, you know, picking them up was go to YouTube, right? Well, let me figure out how to put this fan in. So, you know, that's, I think, what people tend to do. I know when I was making wreaths, when I started making wreaths, I didn't know how to do, you know, big bows at all. And, you know, pretty much every wreath has a really nice big bow. And if you're going to be successful making wreaths, you kind of need to know how to make those big bows. So I YouTubed like every bow maker I could find, and watched and practiced and watched and practiced and watched and practiced until I made some pretty killer bows. Still can't make the tie the bow on your shoelace bow, but that's another story. So anyway, that's why I think I'm posting to YouTube. However, with that said, she didn't say that. I'm guessing that because why else would somebody post to YouTube? Other than, you know, they told me to. So I'm gonna let this air out for a minute and dry my mat. Oh look, I'm cleaning my mat. It had red chalk on it. Oh, so you know what, you guys? I gotta tell you, I'm finding like great things to do with chalking. So I deal with a wood maker. I don't know if it's a wood maker, a wood shop, I'll say, in Arizona, where I get some of my wood stuff. And they sell these little, check these out, these little rolling pins, which are adorable. And then what I did was, and I guess, like my girlfriend said, what are they for? I'm like, I don't know, tiered trays, just for decorative reasons. So I just chalked them, wrote some cute little things on them. I just thought they were adorable. Anyway, there you go. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to get this dry because I really do. You know what, let me get my fuzzing cloth. Not to fuzz it, really, but to dry it. This is a big transfer. This could take a while. Okay. I may be taking out the big one because this doesn't feel sticky. I mean the new one. I knit for the longest time. I had this because it's beautiful and because... Hi, honey. Good morning. Thanks for watching. What does that say? Graduation gifts? Rolling pins? Tell me why. Anyway, for the longest time I had this and I wanted to use it, but it's so big. Like, what do you do with this thing? So I finally did it, put it on a chalkboard. And then I had this really big banner, and I had the same thought, like, what on earth do I do with this big thing? Diplomas! Look at you! I would never think that. Oh my gosh, that's such a good idea, with like a little graduation cap attached. This is why I love doing lives, because never in a million years would I have thought to do that. Such a good idea. This is really wet. All right, I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, so like I said, I found the middle of this, and I'm gonna try to get this lotus flower as in the middle as I possibly can. All right. And where'd the middle go? Oh, there it is. Okay. So to mark the middle, I just folded it in half and then creased it. That's such a good idea. You're so smart, honey. I told everybody that I helped you put those fans in and then cleaned up the mess this weekend. I was such a good helper to you. No comment? Oh, that's pretty good. It's sticky. Good. So the reality is, y'all, it didn't help at all. And then when he asked me to clean the mess in the bathroom, I was like, well, I don't ask you to clean my messes when I'm done. But then later he did get me back because I asked him to help me do something, and he said, he's like, well, I don't know, you didn't help me clean the bathroom. I don't know. I really feel like I need to get the new one. This is so big, I don't want this to get messed up. I'm being really crazy about getting this really flat and stuck because this is such a big transfer. There is so much room for bleeding. And you know what? It's not all sticking. Let me get the new one and let me see if that's going to stick any better. Hold on, y'all. It's right next to me. Here we go. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. I think it would be in my best interest to use the new one. So with that said, I'm gonna cut the top off the new one and we're gonna try this again. Why is the camera not right again? Oh, I'm going, what? Oh. I'm gonna leave well enough alone. I feel like I missed, yeah, okay. Alrighty. Yeah, if I was smart, I'd start this video over. But then it wouldn't be live, would it? Okay. Now, this should be really sticky, and I'm not gonna fuzz it. And we all know why. Okay, I was gonna say, or maybe not, because I can't get it off its paper. Good, this is nice, brand new, beautiful. Look at how pretty. Okay. So now I'm gonna try to get it in the middle of the transfer and in the middle of the banner and have it be straight. Oh, that was really a good idea. I love when I have good ideas. My husband's the one usually with the good ideas. Okay, now, I think I've said this to y'all too. In areas with a lot of screen, there's not, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was not in the camera. There's not a lot of adhesion, right? Because it's screen. So in those areas, even though I can see that it's pretty well adhered, I'm gonna be really careful to hold it real tight against the fabric, and also be careful with the ink. Okay, so ink penetrates the fabric. So if this had a second side to it, I would have something underneath the back of it so that it didn't penetrate, that like if it was a bag and there, you know, is a front and back piece, I want to put something between the two pieces of fabric so it doesn't bleed onto the second piece of fabric. This doesn't have that. But with that said, I do have a mat underneath this because it is going to bleed. So I don't want it bleeding on my table. I'm going to let it bleed on the mat. Okay, so here we go. So I think I'm going to stick with like the simple things, which are like leaves, you know, the things I know what color they should be. Also, I don't know with ink if you're supposed to like, you know, when you do a really big transfer, you've seen me like do a section with chalk and then lift it up so you release the chalk. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Ow. that's what I'm going to be doing. So I had 2 greens to choose from, and I chose a brighter green. I'll just try to lean down like this, because if I lift it up so that I'm in the camera, you're not going to see the whole project. So I'm going to start at the top and work my way down, because so I'm going to be going back and forth between colors, because I don't want my elbows to get into it. So I am going to start with leaves. Same thing. With our ink, you really don't have to stir it. You could, but they're almost always the right consistency. So I've never stirred them. I just take my squeegee out and use that instead of a stirring stick to apply the ink. So again, I'm going to rub this down just to make sure, and I'm going to apply the ink with the squeegee just exactly the same way you would chalk. And I'm being really careful to try to get it only in the places I want it, because there's so many colors here that I'm going to be going through. I think. I may in the end just decide the whole lotus needs to be blue, and then it would be a short-lived video. So we'll see. So I'm just, well, one, I'm noticing that with ink, you can see it really penetrate the fabric. It's a completely different look when you're chalking than when you use chalk paste. You can see it really soak into the fabric, and you can kind of see if it's light in some areas. So I'm going over each area. You know, I'm using a little bit of pressure, and I'm really working that ink into the fabric, I guess is the best way to say it. Trying to be very careful to get the ink only where I want it. So I feel like this is the way I feel. When I'm inking, and I don't do a lot of inking, so I'm way more cautious and slow. And it may be because I don't do a lot of inking, but I really think it's because there's zero room for error. Like if you botch this, guess what? You're gonna have a green lotus flower, because there is no going back, and there is no do-over, and there is no, you know, let it dry and scrape it off. There's none of that. It's fabric. So let me take a sip of my coffee. Because I'm very dry. Okay, so now I think you guys can see this. I did the leaves, and now I'm gonna just lift it away to release the ink, and I'm gonna lay it back down. Okay, and now I'm gonna do those flowers. I said I was gonna do them in Regal. Okay, so I don't need the green anymore, so I'm actually gonna put that away so that I can free up a little bit of space here. And this is what I also found. I know people will say that you can, you know, you can wash your transfers whenever. Like this, you know, the same day, the next day, the next week. And that is true. It just makes it a little harder to get them clean because the chalk dries up. But I have found that if it's ink, it's totally different. And do yourself a favor, wash it right when you're done, because otherwise it can be difficult to get it clean. It comes clean real easily if you clean it right when you're done using it. So I will clean this when I'm done. The other thing is, on these really big transfers like this, unless you have like the mother of all sinks, don't try to clean this in your kitchen sink, because I'm here to tell you, it can be a real nightmare. And how do I know that? Because it was a real nightmare. And then I posted on our designer site, how do y'all clean these giant transfers? Because it was a real nightmare. And everybody started saying, oh, take it to your bathtub. So take it to your bathtub. You do yourself a favor. There's my PSA for the day. Oh no. Okay, there you go. Okay, So that's a really pretty color, actually. This is like a, I don't know, it's called Regal. I'm going with purple. And I am going to do these flowers now on the top. And again, I'm going to hold the transfer down as tight to the fabric as I can in that area so that I only get the ink where the ink should be and that there's no bleeding, hopefully. And I don't, you know what? You guys, I don't know what this is going to look like with a blue flower and green leaves and pink, you know, blooms. I have no idea. But I felt like I wanted to use color. So, there you have it. And I feel like, and I could be wrong, you know, I usually am. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like it takes more ink to do fabric than it takes chalk to do surfaces. And I even have a theory, because the fabric is so absorbent. I feel like, you know, it absorbs in, and you kind of, in order to get, you know, no blotching and really even coverage, you got to go over it a few times. So I feel like it just takes, and not that it takes a lot, it takes like no chalk to do a project. It does take more ink, but that's still not a lot of ink. I don't ink a lot, but I've had all these inks for a long time. Okay. And they're all still full, and I have used them. I just don't use them a lot. Okay, now I'm gonna put away the pink. The pink, oh, that almost went in my coffee. Because the rest of the flower I think is gonna be blue. And you know what? I didn't plan out like what was gonna be what color blue. So we're gonna kind of figure it out together. All right, so I'm gonna lift that. That's pretty. Okay, and now it's showtime. All right, so maybe I'll do, I think I'm gonna do the outer leaves, these three big ones, in the dark blue. It's Cadet, that's what we call it. And then I'll make a decision after that, because I really don't know what colors I should make things. But I kind of feel like maybe the dark blue should be on the outside. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. All right. And I'm still gonna use, I took out big squeegees, but I'm still gonna use the little one because there's like fine lines here. So again, I'm just, you know, putting the ink on the squeegee. And I'm going to drag it across exactly the way you do chalk. I'm just dragging it across the screened areas, making sure to cover only what I want inked in this color. I'm going to do this one and do the middle last so that my hand doesn't get in it. I really should go left to right because I'm righty. So the next level, hopefully I'll remember, and I'll start on the left and work my way toward the center. I should know this because I'm a painter. Okie dokie. Now I just got blue on the pistil of the next petal. This colored blue, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm hoping that because the image is so big, your eye is not going to be drawn to that little section of Miss Ink. Okay. And now I'm going to do this big center one. Okay, so I keep turning, I don't know if you can notice, but I'm turning the squeegee around back and forth because there's ink on both sides and I don't want the one side to get so inked up that it starts to get all over me because I'm only using the one side of it. Y'all can ink or chalk any way that you're comfortable with. I just do that in big areas because I know that I forget there's, you know, chalk on the one side and it ends up, you know, working its way up the squeegee and then I end up grabbing it and then I have, you know, chalk on my fingers and it gets on my project and that's why I turn mine back and forth. But y'all don't need to do that. Y'all need to, you know, work in a way that works for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave this blue out, but I'm going to put it to the side because I really don't know if I'm going to use it again. And I'm going to pull this off because I don't want, hey boss, how are you? Good morning. Hey, hey. Thanks for joining. Yeah, because I don't want it to not release. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to, I think I'm going to use this teal. Yeah. On the next leaf. Sorry, I'm really trying to figure out, I'm not good with color. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what color should go where. And again, I have no idea at all what this is going to end up looking like. Not a clue. And I'm going to try to figure out what leaves are what. All right, let me start with that leaf because I know that one is this color. This should come with like, you know, a paint by number set. You know, like this is color A, this is color B, because these leaves kind of run together. And then there's different layers and not layers, it's one transfer, but different layers of flowers, right? Some are sticking out from the back of the flower, some are in the front of the flower, some are at the bottom of the flower, and I don't know, they all look different. So I don't know, should like, you know, every different flower be a different color? Should it all be, you know, blue, one blue? I don't know. But again, since it's my project, I keep going through this, I can make it whatever way I want, and that's what you guys can do. You know, you do it whatever way your eye sees it being done. I don't know how this happened. I really don't. But I got ink on my arm, which is going to get ink on the project unless I am careful to wipe that off. So I'm going to wipe that off. Give me a minute. Okay. All right, back to chalking. And ink stays wet a whole lot longer than chalk. So you don't have to work as quickly. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. With chalk, you do kind of need to work a little bit quickly because the chalk can get dried out. And then when you go to lift it, you end up pulling the chalk off with the transfer. That's why you do something called chalk and lift if you're doing, you know, something that takes a little longer, or you're doing multiple colors or multiple layers. I work quickly anyway. I chalk pretty quickly. Well, you know what? Zach, you're so funny. I have inked before. Have I inked on canvas? I have inked on canvas, and it looks beautiful. However, and I have heat set it. And I've also inked where I didn't heat set it because it was something that wasn't going to get washed. I think the colors look vibrant and beautiful on this canvas anyway. But this is a crapshoot because you heard me say I'm not good with colors, and there's so many different petals on here in so many different, you know, styles. I don't know what's supposed to be what. So it's going to be like a big reveal for us all. I was going to actually ask you, Zach, it was an ink question. What was it? Oh my goodness. Gone. When I saw you hop on, I actually had an ink question for you. But I really can't for the life of me remember what it was. So, are you working? You and Eddie are like my early morning buddies. You know what? I wish I had shimmer ink. Do you know that they are discontinuing the shimmer pastes? Now, I don't know. They're going to do a reveal in February. So I don't know if they're going to be replaced by something shimmery, but they're retiring them. Oh, testing. Surprise! Yeah, so I'm pretty bummed about that. And, ad nauseum, I haven't been able to get, you know, well, not just me, anybody, the gold, well, you know, the gold, the white, the black, have all been out of stock. So I doubt, honestly, that they're going to replenish them. Because if you're going to retire them, why would you add inventory? So, bummer. Unless they introduce, because I know they're revamping their formula. So maybe they're retiring the old ones, introducing new ones with a new formula and maybe just a new name. What do I know? Oh my gosh, are you serious? Or is that just like a random number? That's crazy. So I'll be interested to see y'all in February because they are releasing a whole crap ton of new transfers and new chalk paste and what else? A new catalog for the spring. Yeah, that. You think they're going to do new shimmers? I can't imagine they wouldn't because they're like really popular. Okay, so now I see a couple of places where I didn't go close enough to the next flower, so I'm going to add a little bit of ink in those places once I remember where they are. Here's one. Oh, I guess it doesn't, they don't touch. All right, so now, okay. So, I think, all right, I'm trying to decide what to do, what color. I'm going to use my third blue, which is my only blue that I have left, and I'm going to do the inside pistils of the petals I've done. Oh, that's different. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to okay, so I'm trying to figure out, like, really... bear with me. If I do that blue, then that can't be dark blue because it butts up to that. All right, I'm gonna hold off on that. Let me do those two centers first. These two, because these obviously can't be that dark blue, and it can't be the teal because they'll be, you know, next to each other, and I don't want that. So I feel like this has to be this color. So let me get this out of the way. Man, these images are like right on top of one another. It's making it really hard to not get it where it does not belong. Okay, so that's one. Here's the other. And then I'm going to take, once I do these, I'm going to, you know, take a look. I'm going to sit back and look at it and try to make decisions on what's going to be what color. You know, again, I only had so many light blues. Zach, I only have 3 color blues. And the light blue, the teal I just used, I don't want, you know, like all the blues next to each other, the same blue next to each other. So let me pull this up and then kind of take a look at it. I think those centers can be the same blue. Oh, those centers are going to be white. Well, that center, if that's going to be blue, these can be blue, then that needs to be the light blue. All right, so let me outline these and then do the centers in the same blue. This is, I feel like, again, I could be totally wrong, but I feel like this is a complex transfer. It probably isn't. I think it's just the coloring that is making me feel like it's complex. You know, the layers. All right, so I'm going to do the center of those 3, this blue as well. Whatever color this blue is. Tide, actually, I think it is. I may need even like a smaller squeegee here. There's not a lot of grace here. Not a lot of room for error. Okay, 2 more. Two more. Okay, 1 more. And then I'm going to pull it up and look again. Okay. Oh, that was close. All right, let me pull it up and look. And let me also get this ink off my fingers because yes, it's going to get on everything. Where's that coming from? There's ink on the bottom of this. And I really don't want to get in it because I don't I don't want to ruin this canvas. I really should just cover the canvas with tape. That's what I should have done. But you know. Oh, that's okay. Congrats. Yeah, whenever. I'm not in a hurry for that. Okay, so now I'm definitely gonna do these let me do these bottom flowers blue. I just want to do the centers, this light blue, these little things here. And you know what? I can see a mess happening here already. I'm going to use something smaller. Oh, and then those have to be the same thing then. Ah. It's like one thing leads to another. Well, hopefully the one thing leading to another all leads me to what color everything should be. Okay. Are you making a playroom downstairs for the babies? We always did that because I hated, I didn't hate, but I liked my house tidy. So we always had a playroom for the kids so that, you know, toys got kind of like they go over there in that room. So of course we always hung out in the playroom. All right, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, those are actually, all right, let me do this. I'm so not sure what to do, what color now. I really don't have a clue. So I'm just gonna start coloring. Everything is beginning to run into everything else. Like one line from one flower is actually the outline of another flower, which is a problem for me because, you know, where do you stop and then start again? I had a house that was like an open floor plan, and it was the same thing. So when we painted, we had somebody come in because really it was literally like, where do you stop one color and start another color to define rooms? You know, I didn't want my whole house green or tan. I wanted to define rooms, but you know, when it's one continuous space, how do you do that? Actually, and the designer was amazing. She came in and she so well defined that the whole house, it was really quite amazing. But I guess that's why she's the designer and I'm the one who paid her. I always said my plan when it came to houses was to hire somebody who had a plan. Because I can't see it. I can decorate it. I just can't, you know, see it being built and put together. My husband has a great eye for that. And, you know, we're looking at houses in Florida. So when we retire, you know, in a couple of years, we have a house to move to. And, you know, I'll be like, well, I don't like the way this room, blah, blah, blah. And I don't like the way that room, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, but all you have to do is, you know, I don't know, move this and do that. And I'm like, I don't see it. I can't see it. I want to, even here. We were talking about the bathroom, revamping a bathroom. And I finally said to him, you know what? Even the kitchen, he was going to, you know, put a microwave over the stove instead of, you know, the range top. We decided not to do that, but he was going to, and then he was going to, you know, change a cabinet to put the microwave in, and you know, so he's going to change a few things in the kitchen. And he fully explained to me everything, how it was going to look and stuff, and I swear I couldn't see it. I was like, I don't know. So I finally just said, you know what? You haven't steered me wrong yet. So I say do it, and I'm sure it's going to look fine, even though I can't see it. But we end up doing that. Where'd my blue go? I'm not totally thrilled with this, y'all. I feel like those need to be blue now. Dark blue. I feel like the rest of it needs to be dark blue. All right, that's what I'm going to do. And maybe it's going to be boring. Maybe I'll do like, you know, these little things. That color blue. So that there's, you know, a little bit of each blue in every leaf. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I just feel like, you know, at this point, it should just all be blue. I can feel I just got ink all over my hand. And then do I want to do that? No, okay. All right, let me clean this so that I don't end up. I don't know how people chalk and don't get it all over them. I really don't. That's why I sit with a roll of paper towels and my water bottle next to me, because I know better. All right. Catastrophe avoided for now. Blue. Okay. So I'm going to do the rest in this color blue. So I also have a stencil transfer, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, that says Namaste. And I might put that on the bottom after. And I'll do it, you know, after I close this video, because I'm going to have to think about it, look at it, you know. I don't want to keep y'all any longer than I have to. So it might say Namaste at the end. Tell me if you think that's a good idea. I had to look up what Namaste meant. Do you know what it means? I guess, Zach, you might be the only one. No, nobody's here now. Oh. All right, well, so I'll tell you, since it's only me. Namaste actually means I bow to you. I thought it meant like peace or well-being or, you know, something like that, but it really doesn't. It means I bow to you. And it's a traditional yoga. I don't know the origin of the word. I didn't really go that far looking, but so it's a traditional greeting or ending to a yoga session. There you go. I bow to you. Oh, I'm going to leave it down there. I am going to leave that right where it fell. Since I'm almost done. We're almost done, y'all. Yay. I could feel I got it on my fingers, but this is the last color, so I'm hoping I'm going to be all right and not get it on the fabric. Okay. All right. I gotta pick that up because I've got, yet again, blue all over me. I don't know, y'all. I just know that, knowing me, I will, you know, touch the canvas and it will be the one spot on my entire hand that has ink on it, because that's the way I roll. All right. I'm sorry that, you know, you guys are watching me clean my hands, but I really want to keep this project clean. Okay, so I think we're good now. So, all right, that's how it turned out. And actually, that's not terrible, color-wise. You know, nothing ran because this is a brand new transfer, as you can now see, that I folded it on itself. Okay, so if I've never said this, I'll say it now. You never want to let the transfer fold in on itself, because it can be a real bear to get undone. Okay, so I'm going to try to hold this up, and it's wet, so I'm not going to let it touch itself. So here we are. This is the lotus flower. Not, you know, totally digging the color scheme, but it is what it is at this point. So I'm probably going to write Namaste at the bottom. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. May make a change or two. I don't think I will. May color in some of the insides. Okay, so now I don't know if this is a thing, but I'm going to tell you. And if you all want to sprinkle the video, that's S-H-A-R-E. Then if you write sprinkle in comments, I will add your name to our sprinkle basket. And once a month, I'm going to pull a name out, and I will send whoever's name I pull out a full kit. So a full-size transfer, inks to do the job, you know, everything you need. A surface, all of it. So go ahead and sprinkle. Okay, and again, this is also going to be posted on my YouTube channel. That is Let's Get Personal by Ari 2, the number 2. Okay, so this is what I don't know if it's a thing or not, but I might do this. When I hang up or, you know, get off, whatever, when I stop this video, I may, okay, so you see down here, like some of these have like empty areas that are not colored in. I may try to take a tool and color some of those in. I'll see. So you know what? If you never see a photographed version of this, it's probably going to be because I did try to color in those sections and it went sideways, and now there's no project to sell. All of the things I make are for sale. If you have any questions, contact me. Just drop your questions in comments. I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I try to watch the video right after I'm done taping, but I can't always do it. Usually I do, and I do get back to you. Check out my other site, Let's Get Personal by Ari. There's all kinds of things for sale there for Valentine's Day and for, you know, just general, you know, everyday stuff, home decor and signs. I am working on the cutest gnome project. This has nothing to do with Club Couture. It just came to my mind. And I'll have to show you guys that one when I get done with it. It's going to be just adorable. All of this stuff is for sale. There's, you know, all kinds of signs, hearts, shadow boxes, mini rolling pins, mini cutting boards for trays, you know, just all kinds of stuff. I took pictures of a lot of things yesterday. I was going to post them today, but I didn't. I mean, I was going to post them yesterday, but I didn't. I'm going to try to post them today. So you'll be able to see some of the stuff behind me that I haven't posted yet. And that's it. So I appreciate you guys making the stretch with me. And if you have any questions, like I said, drop it in comments, sprinkle the video. Appreciate you being here. And I will catch you all on the rebound. Thanks.